We have tons of tools available for us to master our own song, which could save time and money. However, in this video, I'm gonna be talking about 5 reasons why you should avoid that, and why I also chose a mastering engineer to help with my next release. I will also talk about how this mental exercise aspect of mixing and mastering can trick our brain, but first, let's talk about the listening environment. Although you might have a great home studio and maybe even proper acoustic treatment in your room, mastering engineers typically spend way more time, energy, and money to ensure that their environment, their room, sounds as good as possible. As much as we would like to believe that our home studio is the epitome of perfect sound reproduction, there will always be dips and room modes and problems in the frequency spectrum. And room correction, generally speaking, can only mitigate that to a certain degree. The whole purpose of mastering is to ensure that the final result will sound good in your car, your AirPods, and your bedroom sound system, and mastering engineers focus on this way more than most production or mixing engineers. For this reason, a serious mastering engineer will have a dedicated space where the full frequency spectrum is as even as possible. And on that note, we arrive to our second point, which is probably the most important one out of all, and that's objectivity. One might say it's almost impossible to be objective. However, the more you listen to your own song, the better it sounds, so to speak. If you had a synth pad in the background in your song and you accidentally muted it, you might not even notice that. The more you focus on the low or high end, the less you will perceive on the opposing side of the spectrum. This is how your brain can trick you into thinking that your song is perfect. You're biased. And then you open your project 2 days later, realizing it sounds off. I'm sure you can relate to that. So, letting a mastering engineer work on your mix means they are more objective as they hear your music for the first time with fresh ears and can make decisions that will enhance your music. I've heard a recent interview with Chris Athens, who's a great engineer with multiple Grammys, and he said the followings. Your mind can play tricks on you. One of my goals has always been to be objective party in a subjective world. And music is very subjective. Creating objectivity is very difficult, and one of the ways you do that is the lack of familiarity with the project. So you might choose to master your own song just to save money. You may feel like you have enough experience and knowledge to just do it yourself. However, if you want to make a living as an artist, you may actually hurt your career down the line by poor decisions even before release. Although mastering, generally speaking, will not influence the success of a production too much, a mastering engineer has the expertise and experience to enhance what's amazing in your mix. A good mastering engineer will listen to what your goal is and help you achieving that goal. If you're serious about your music and you want it to sound the best, asking someone for professional help will certainly be beneficial. The whole concept of do-it-yourself nowadays is fully understandable. As artists and producers, we have to be entrepreneurs, editors, media experts. We have to do marketing, promotion, networking, and a whole bunch of things. Focusing on what we do best, though, which is making music, is the smartest way to spend time on. And if there's one thing I would outsource out of all of the production steps, that would probably be mastering. As I already mentioned, a good mastering engineer will work with you, talk with you, and do whatever is necessary to support your vision and bring the best out of your song or album. The second pair of eyes, or rather ears review, means that the mastering engineer will not hesitate to evaluate the mix and suggest making changes to it that will lead to a better result. I just have fresh experience with this as I was working with Nicholas from Panorama Mastering on my soon-to-be released single, and he pointed out quite a few mistakes I made throughout the mixing process, and that helped me quite a lot. And to be honest, I haven't noticed those mistakes after listening to the song for, hundreds of times for sure. So feedback in general will help you on the long run, and it also helps the mastering engineer because he will have a better source material that he can work on. And as a disclaimer, I just wanted to say that I'm not hating on do-it-yourself mastering, and I think it can really be beneficial. Also, learning mastering can be very beneficial. It will help with your whole production, the mixing process as well. And there are times when do-it-yourself mastering will be a better option, like when you're working on a song that's not going to be released or is just a demo. However, for serious productions, even if you know how to master well, I would, and we are talking about your own songs, I would definitely vote for choosing a mastering engineer to help you out. And at the end, I think that's gonna be giving you the best result overall. So I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I loved making it. And if that's the case, the only thing I ask you to do is to subscribe. It would help me a lot.